What is up, ladies and gents? In today's video, we're going to be talking all about spellcoin. We're going to be discussing the recent price action that we've seen here on the charts, and we'll be talking about price predictions both for the shorter term, so over the coming days and weeks, as well as my 2025 prediction for how high spellcoin can go. And of course, if you're bullish on spellcoin, I think you'll like this video, so be sure to stay tuned. Of course, if you are a new viewer here, then welcome to the channel. If you like videos like this, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you're a returning viewer, then welcome back to this channel. On top of all of that as well, if you're looking for a good place to buy and trade spellcoin, then look no further than the MEXC exchange. This is the exchange that I use. They don't require KYC to get started. They have some of the lowest fees on the market, and for a limited time only, they're giving every new user who signs up $20. So if you want to make use of that offer, click in the link in the description down below, fill out your details. It takes less than a minute, deposit some fiat or crypto, and then you can get started straight away. Of course, on top of the spot trading, they even have futures trading for spelltoken, where you can trade with up to 20x leverage. So of course, again guys, link is in the description down below for this. As always, thank you so much for all of your support. And let's dive straight into this video. So of course, we're going to head over to the price charts for spelltoken. And like I said at the start of this video, I am bullish here on spelltoken, particularly in the longer term. However, in the shorter term, obviously we've had this crash on the shorter term. This is the 1 hour chart right now. So you can see that over the past few days, it's really been down only here for spelltoken. We did have this flash crash in the market starting from the end of the 2nd of February there. And since that point here, we've seen spelltoken do a decent recovery. So this is quite nice to see. It means that there's quite a few diamond hands here in the spelltoken community. So this is what I've been looking at over the past few days. Of course, these kind of dumps in the market generally tend to tell us how strong each crypto token is. If we can quickly recover these dips, it shows us that we've got a stronger community than if not. Of course, a good example of one that's still not recovered its dip is XLM, for example. Of course, it did drop all this way during the flash crash, and as you can see, the price is struggling to recover from that. But now, if we have a look at spelltoken, since that drop, it's recovered a lot better than XLM has. So it tells me there's some nice diamond hands in this community. So that's really good. However, looking at the very short term, it's clear to me that we have a resistance going across that looks a little bit like this. And we have some sort of support that can generally be described as this. Of course, doesn't encompass that many points here. It's been tested a few times. As you can see, we've got this one over here and this one over here as well, giving it two solid tests. Maybe we can draw the support a little bit better going across like this, but the point is still the same. This pattern that we may be seeing here on the charts is some sort of rising wedge pattern. Now this pattern, if you've seen it before, is a bearish pattern that happens in a downtrend, and we know it's a downtrend because the price has been going down for the past few days. We see this kind of channel in an upwards trend, but the result from this, the expected price target from this pattern, is the distance between the first test and support. And if we break down, let's say by the end of today, we can see that price target hitting 8.5 cents. I'm just going to call that 8.5 cents. I know there's 3 zeros in front of the price. But yeah, roughly 8.5 cents would be the price target from this rising wedge. So just keep your eyes on what the price does over the next few hours. It looks like we're starting to head down there. So if we really see a lot of momentum driving the prices down below this, then we could definitely see the prices hit that price target there of 8.5 cents. So that's kind of my first thoughts here. Of course, if that plays out as well, then unfortunately we also have a potential another pattern that I'm afraid I've been watching, and it's also another bearish pattern in the shorter term only, and it's this looking thing. So hopefully this doesn't turn out to be a rising wedge, because if this turns out to be a rising wedge, then this triggers this head and shoulders pattern that we could be seeing here on spelltoken, and that could send the prices quite a bit lower. Of course, for the completeness of this video, I'm just going to show you what the price target of that would be. If we do see that rising wedge play out and the prices head down to 8.5 cents, then it could also trigger this head and shoulders pattern. Of course, that is a very low price target down there. I don't expect that to be reached, but I would expect there to be continued bearish action here on spelltoken. So just some things to potentially watch out for here in the shorter term. Of course, if you are holding spelltoken, it's more likely that you probably have a longer term view. And like I say, I'm very bullish long term still. And the reason for that is because, in my opinion, we have one of the nicest, cleanest structures here on crypto. Of course, what we have in the long term is something like this. We've got a tried and tested resistance here that's been going on since 2022 here on spelltoken. As you can see, it's been tested 3 very different times here throughout the course of 3 years. We have a very nice resistance going across a little bit like this. I'm going to draw it like this to best represent what I mean. We have our support down here, been tested twice, and we've been tested another time over here. We did see the price dip down below that, but I still count that, as you can see, that is a wick. So the prices quickly came above it after the price dips below that support there. So that is a strong support in my opinion. Of course, at this current point in time, if you have a look at this structure, in my opinion, this is some form of double bottom pattern. You can see that the prices came down to roughly the same level on 2 separate occasions, and it's come to the same neckline, which is this resistance line here, on multiple different occasions. In fact, we can even extend this to say that this could be some form of double head and shoulders pattern starting to play out here. We've got a shoulder on the very left side here, and the fact that we came up to this line again, the resistance, the neckline, and got rejected, and now we're down here. If we see something like this, for example, then this could be again a double head and shoulders pattern. Everything about this is all the same, because if we do break out past that resistance line, so this is the resistance to be monitoring if you're looking to trade this. Currently it sits at roughly 2 cents. It sits at roughly 0.2 cents here on the price. But if we break past that, then we get a glorious price target here on spelltoken. It triggers this major trades. And of course, if we break out, let's just say again, for the sake of this video, we break out at the end of February, we get a price target there of 1 cent. That's a 411% upside if we break past this neckline here. So you guys can see why I'm monitoring what is happening here on the charts at the moment. We came up to that level at the end of January and got rejected from it. So this, in my opinion, has solidified the fact that we are seeing this long-term double bottom pattern, or double head and shoulders pattern, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, what really matters is what price does when we start to get close to this resistance here. And if we see a lot of momentum and we see large green candles similar to ones like this, for example, taking the prices much higher, then that could be a breakout that we were looking for, and it could take spelltoken there to the 1 cent to 1.1 cents level. Of course, if it can reach this level with a lot of momentum still, then I don't expect it to just stop there, because the next target for spelltoken should be its previous all-time high. As you guys can see, most of the trading on spelltoken has occurred in this price range down below. So if the prices are able to jet past 1.1 cents, there shouldn't be much in terms of resistances holding it from getting to these levels here. I do think there'll be quite a bit of resistance potentially here at 2.6 cents, but after that, then we should be able to reach its previous all-time high there at 3.5 cents. So some levels to look out for if the prices start shooting quickly to 1.1 cents here on spelltoken. And of course, although it looks unlikely at the moment, these things can happen extremely quickly. Just have a look at what spelltoken did in 2021, for example. It shot up in a matter of days, literally did 800% in this move here in under a week. This is how quickly these moves can happen. And of course, we do have a lot of bullish catalysts at the moment here in crypto. We've got the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve for the US, for example, that's coming into play. We've got financial institutions ready to get their hands on whatever cryptos they can. So, you know, the moment we get some really bullish news, that could trigger something parabolic here on the chart. So these are my current price targets that I've got at the moment. Of course, some other targets that I'm potentially looking out for fall along these Fibonacci levels. These could be places where we could see some good supports and resistances along the way as well. If you have a look at the one-day chart, for example, you can see that the price really does like these fib levels. At the moment, we're struggling between these two fibs here. That's the 0.786 and the 1 fib, as you can see there. And of course, the way we use these levels is if we see the prices come back down to this level here, the 0.786 fib, that could be a good support for the price to continue upwards. However, if we lose that level, then the next fib down could be a good support, and if we lose that level, next fib down below that. So that's kind of how I'm seeing these fibs here on the shorter term. Of course, if we break past these fibs, again, these could be areas of good resistance on the way up. So, you know, if you're looking to trade, always get those fib levels on, as we know that Spell token really likes these fib levels. So yeah, a lot of scribbles on the screen, but hopefully the message here was clear. Of course, on the shorter term, I hate to admit it, but things obviously are looking a little bit bearish. Of course, we've been in a downtrend now in Spell token for a week. We could be seeing a potential rising wedge on the shorter term, and maybe is even this head and shoulders pattern starting to come into play. But on the longer term, the path for Spell token, in my opinion, is extremely clear. We have this sort of double bottom type structure occurring on the chart. It's been going now for over 2 years, and the moment we break out from this long-term structure, I do think 1.1 cents is the minimum target there. That's a 411% trade. However, I would not be surprised to see Spell token reach its previous all-time high once we break out of that double bottom pattern. So of course, guys, as always, that's pretty much all I have to say here for Spell token. Do let me know down in the comments if you're holding Spell token, what your personal price targets are for how high you think Spell token can go. And otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video.